Should you be following the ketogenic diet? This is a question that I get all the time, and today I wanted to clear this up really briefly. So before we dive into the pros and cons behind keto, I just want to clear up, is this healthy? Is this something that you should do? It is healthy. So there's absolutely nothing wrong from a health standpoint with the ketogenic diet. Having a high fat, ultra low carb, moderate protein diet is perfectly fine from a health standpoint. But from a body composition standpoint or a performance standpoint, there's going to have major implications. So let's go into it. So with the pros, the ketogenic diet is very good for weight loss. There's a reason why this has become such a popular trend, and it's because people have been really successful with it. So if you are looking to lose a bunch of weight, then this is certainly an option you can go for. What it does is it manipulates your macros without counting them. So where I always harp on making sure you understand where your macros are so that you can be hitting very specific targets, if you don't necessarily want to do that, the ketogenic diet gives you kind of a way out by completely negating one of the groups of macros, your carbohydrates. So when we cut those out, you are in effect going to be dropping your calories overall just because one of the macronutrients is something that you are no longer able to consume. So that's going to cut out a lot of really crappy foods, just a lot of really bad foods that are not diet conducive. So it's something to keep in mind there. And it's very effective without exercise. So in a population of people that aren't doing a lot of exercise, they're not getting much movement in, and they really have no plans to, this is where the ketogenic diet is really good because we don't have a need for carbohydrates. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate as there is an essential amino acid or essential fatty acid. So by not ingesting carbs, we're not actually missing anything because our body can produce whatever it needs from a survival and a health standpoint on its own. So if we're not doing any sort of intense activity where carbohydrates are a necessity, then you don't need to include them in your diet. Now, that being said, if your goal is not weight loss and you're actually trying to build muscle or perform a certain way in a sport, the ketogenic diet is the last thing you want to be doing. Carbohydrates are the best fuel for intense exercise. If you're not putting them in your diet, then you are seriously going to hamper your performance and your gains. Less fuel for intense activity and a terrible muscle building environment are basically what you're getting with the ketogenic diet. You're not getting that insulin response, insulin being that hormone that promotes growth by pushing nutrients into muscle tissue. And it's just not a good way to set up your training with a total lack of fuel for what you need. It heavily limits your food selection. So even though you might be able to fit pasta or a burger or maybe even a slice of pizza into your day if you're counting your macros and you know where you fall, on the ketogenic diet, that's not an option. You can't have bulk carbohydrate foods. You just simply can't do it or you'll be kicked out of ketosis. And then finally, whether you're trying to lose weight or not, can you sustain this long term? When you go on a diet, you should be doing something that is ultimately sustainable and something that you can incorporate into your lifestyle. If you ever want to eat carbohydrates consistently again, then the ketogenic diet is not an option. It's completely getting rid of that flexibility that comes with understanding how to account for your macros and what your body actually needs. So to wrap up, if you're trying to lose weight, the ketogenic diet is an option. It's healthy. If you're not doing a lot of activity, it's actually a probably better option than most other things you could be doing. If you are doing a lot of activity and wanting to lose weight, I would still incorporate carbohydrates to some degree for fueling your exercise. And then if you're trying to build muscle or perform in any shape or form possible, then you need carbs in your diet. You should be staying as far away from keto as possible. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys again soon.